People who want to adopt this pit bull quickly realize there's a catch. While many dogs out there live in loving homes, the unfortunate reality is that millions of unwanted pups are surrendered to shelters each and every year, leaving them alone and abandoned. One afternoon, a sweet young pit bull named Meryl was brought to Rocket Dog Rescue in San Francisco. However, she wasn't the only animal dropped off. Countless other dogs made their way into the shelter that day. In fact, it was so busy that they almost missed a second dog, a senior male Chihuahua named Taco, in the process due to his tiny, frail status. Rocket Dog Rescue was used to pets being abandoned on their property, so examining these lost pets and caring for them was nothing new, even in such great numbers. But something about these two dogs stood out. Taco was about 8 years old and suffered from asthma and dental disease, while Meryl was about 3 years old and had a severe uterine infection due to consistent breeding practices. It was clear that health issues were why both dogs had been surrendered. Although unfortunate, the timing was perfect because Meryl needed emergency life-saving surgery. Thankfully, Meryl pulled through, although she needed a lot of time to recover. Volunteers were amazed by how Taco, a much smaller dog, stuck by her side the whole time like a personal nurse. It was then obvious to the volunteers that these two must have known each other prior and could not be separated. This was going to make finding their forever home even more difficult. The pair was soon placed in foster care together while they waited for a more permanent home. Volunteers at Rocket Dog Rescue snapped this photo right before they were dropped off, which went viral. But would it find them a place to live? The post received almost 26,000 shares and over 1,000 comments. People were losing it over the adorable pair and how Taco seemingly appeared to be an extension of Meryl. Many families came to visit the two dogs, and many also made promises to adopt them both. But none were quite ready to seal the deal. Then something wonderful happened. At the end of the day, one last family saw the pair and adopted them on the spot. The shelter later wrote on Facebook, "Meryl and Taco have been taken in together and are now enjoying hanging out by the fire, snuggling up after a long, fun-filled day." The best friends were so popular that their new family, who wished to remain anonymous, created a Facebook account, Meryl and Taco, so the world could follow their new life. But not everything was as it seemed. Things were going well until about a month after they were adopted. Following a vet visit for Taco, great concern was expressed for Taco's health. The vet feared that Taco was in heart failure as it was enlarged and there was fluid around his lungs. The family was eventually told to prepare for the worst. Suddenly the roles were reversed, and now Meryl became Taco's nurse, refusing to leave his best friend's side. It was a sight that was just as touching as it was heartbreaking. Taco was quickly put on various medications and required to see a specialist. With time, Taco's health stabilized and her future was looking brighter. Still, Meryl had to be gentle with her little friend because even with this medicine, Taco still had respiratory issues that needed to be monitored. Both the dogs' health issues didn't stop them from living their best life. Meryl will still playfully romp around the grass while Taco gets carried around by his human sibling. Clearly, it doesn't matter what these two do, as long as they're together. When separated, they'll even cry for one another until they're reunited. Regardless, the unlikely duo found their home and happiness after a not-so-happy beginning. It was a scary journey, but ultimately one with a happy ending.